So custody is broken down into physical custody, which is essentially parenting time, and legal custody, which is pretty much decision making. Physical custody has two parts to it, really. One is regular time, regular rotations, school days, weekends, and what's that going to look like? And then there's special time, holidays, vacations, birthdays, family events that people sometimes pull out of the regular rotation schedule and treat in a different way. Legal custody is decision making about really high level decisions, not what kids are going to eat for breakfast or what color socks they're going to wear, but where do they go to school? Who will their doctors be? Will they be in therapy when they get a little bit older? Maybe it's piercing or tattoos or driving. Sometimes people want to agree on curfews and discipline because that can be a real challenge between parents once they're divorced. The best interest of a child is really kind of a tough decision to be making because based on what criteria? And so a court is really trying to decide where a child is going to thrive better. Which parent is going to be more physically and emotionally supportive to the child to allow that person to develop and evolve into a well-functioning adult? Custody is always an evolving decision because the court always maintains what's called a parens patriae power to change a custody arrangement if the original one isn't in the child's best interest or someone makes a claim that it's not. So let's say a child is going back and forth week to week to week and now becomes a teenager and doesn't want to do that anymore and says, like, that's too disruptive to me. Maybe one parent who thinks the child should live with him or her primarily might go to court and ask the judge to make a determination different than the week on, week off schedule. And if a court determines that there is a need for a change in that child's best interest, might very well implement that. Notwithstanding what a court can do, parents almost always change a schedule, particularly if they got divorced when the children were very little. Children grow up, they have different needs, the parents' lives change, and so a schedule that you've agreed, signed on the dotted line, this is going to be the schedule, that can be amended, and it usually is. It is really hard to relocate in New York away from the other parent once you've been divorced, unless that parent really doesn't have a relationship with the child anymore, because it is deemed to be in the child's or the children's best interest to have a good relationship, or at least a relationship with both parents. And if both parents are involved, it is almost impossible to show that the best interests of a child merit moving away. Again, I've been involved in many negotiations where a parent was allowed to relocate with a child when we reinterpret and rejigger the parenting plan so that the child has significant blocks of time with the parent who's not moving. If you have any questions about custody and how it might impact your situation, please don't hesitate to contact us at Miller Law.